Hey, what's going on, guys? It is me, Fred, and today I'm here to bring you another episode featuring a movie called The Letter, which was created by Jayla Mosley. She, at the time of this date, has been
nominated for Best Director.
And this movie has already won, I think, a couple other awards at this time of filming. And it was an exciting film to work on. So for this particular video, we're just focusing on a particular scene that had no dialogue, and it was all 100% Foley. So let's play that back. So I want to first say that Brittany is such an amazing actress. She did her thing. Even in this scene, it just tells a lot without saying a single word. And on set, since there wasn't no original audio used, I can't remember if somebody cued her when the door slammed. Maybe somebody said door and her head just kind of like turned back. Or I think she might have did that on her own, like just really well timed either way. To start, we're going to focus on layers, some of the layers that I've worked on. And the biggest one that I usually like to focus on is the room tone. Now, I don't necessarily record too much room tone on my own if I know I'm going to be doing post audio. I like to replace a lot of my room tones with room ambience because ambience really tells a story. So for this particular room ambience, I had some neighborhood bird sound effects that I found, and I really just mutilated the crap out of it in EQ. As you can see, this is the entire spectrum. But when I turn it off, you can hear what it sounds like originally. So it's just a ton of birds. It's like a nice suburban day somewhere out in the neighborhood. And I used this EQ to really just notch in. Instead of using this full spectrum, I just really, really notched in because I just wanted those birds. I didn't care too much about the wind noise or anything else that came with the sound effects. I just wanted to extract the birds. And you can sort of hear just those birds like just peeking through the mix. And the reason why I chose that is because we're looking at the scene inside of a house and the windows are just muffling that bird sounds. So it wouldn't sound realistic if I used the original sound effects because it would sound like she's outside, and that's not very immersive. So that's how I used that effect. And this was kind of the beginning stages of creating every other Foley, is having that room ambience, just giving me that atmosphere so I can start. Once I felt like I was happy with the atmosphere, then I went down to some of the sound effects, which got real heavy. And all of these Foleys were recorded by me. So when we start with the book bag, I actually had to take a bag and kind of just time Brittany's movements with my movements, and it took me a couple takes. So let's listen. And you can see in some of these clips, I actually had to, if I can scroll down a little, I actually had to do some pitching and some crossfading. I think a few of these I had to really change some of the pitch, but for the most part, I chopped them up just to get that timing correct. So it wasn't like one whole take where I just nailed it, as I had to really chop this up and follow some of her movements. And, it took quite a few chops, but this is actually one of my better this is, timings in Foley. And I'm not ashamed to say that, I don't always nail it. So I was very happy with that. And once I finished that layer, then I started focusing on everything else, like thinking about like her feet movement. And when she starts, you can hear like the sort of pitter patter on the carpet. And with these sound effects, I think I actually recorded this with a SM58. And I know that's probably not the ideal microphone for, Foley, but I don't have the most acoustically treated environment where I do a lot of my mixing. So that SM58 really rejects a lot of that background sound and it just hones in on the sound that you're pointing the mic at. So those footsteps, they're really, really subtle, but they captured what I wanted. And you can sort of hear the pitter patter when she gets up. And all of that fabric rubbing all over the place. That's what creates like the layers in between. That's the stuff that makes you say, oh, it sounds correct. I don't know why it sounds right, but it does. Because when we get down to Foley like this, especially when there's no dialogue or no music, we're kind of reaching that uncanny valley of realism, and we're trying to get as many layers as we can to sort of ease the audience mind so they won't get thrown out of the immersion. So next up, I had a wood creak door. That's for the door sound effect. And I just wanted something real simple because, again, she's sneaking in. So I just wanted to just make a nice little creak to let you know she's coming in. And I did a simple fade out because I think this sound effect is actually really long. So, and that was a little too long for what I want. So I just simply kind of just faded it out right here. And it's one of those out of sight, out of mind situations. And then I had another wooden creak, but a different kind. And it sounds like, she was kind of in a hurry, but she still wanted to be sneaky. So that's the actual creak, followed by the actual door sound, which happens here. And it ends right there. Usually when I'm searching for sound effects like door closes, I try to understand the door, figure out, how hollow should it sound? Should it be like a new doorknob? Should it be crunchy? Should it be like... I get very meticulous about those sort of things. And lastly was the actual door slam that happened when she was sneaking. So I had to find a very, very specific door slam that sounded like it was very far away. And if you listen to it, it automatically tells your ears like it's not coming from within the room, but it sounds like it's coming from the next room or the hallway. And I could have recorded that one myself, but it was just a little easier for me to find that one. And when I found that specific one, I just did a little low pass filter and got rid of some of the brightness out of it so it doesn't sound too close. So if I turn this off and listen to it, it sounds a little bright. And if we look at it, it sounds like it's really close to her, almost like the person she's trying to avoid is like right there. And I didn't want that. So I added that low pass filter to make it darker. And now it sounds like it's even more further away. That way she has time to sneak out of the room and, go about her sneaky business, so to speak. So the other ones were taking pictures of the camera. And this one was very meticulous because I had to go into the EQ and I really had to nail down those frequencies because without it, this is what it sounds like. man, that didn't work. Turn off. Oh, I think I got it automated. Yes, I got it automated. So if I just, can I bypass it like this? No, you're not going to do it. So I'm going to do this, turn off all the effects. And that's what it normally sounds like. It just sounds like a regular camera shutter, but I wanted it to sound like it was very thin because the phone is small, so the shutter shouldn't sound as big. And on top of that, camera phone or smartphones don't have actual shutters. It's like a DSLR. So it's actually a sound effect from the phone, and I had to manipulate the EQ to make it sound like it was a sound effect coming from the phone. I know I sound a little Inception-y right there, but that's what I was trying to emulate. That's pretty much it. Once you listen to it all together, this is what it sounds like. Straight movie magic. Thanks so much for watching. If you guys like this episode, you can also check out our website at aboutrightmedia.com, where you can learn more about us or buy our books and future products.